right, y'all. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, fun day. It's an official look. I know football season started already, but it's really the official start today. So I'm happy about that. I don't know about y'all. Nails don't give a 2 cents. But yeah, we want to thank y'all.
Only if it's stopping my man from texting me or calling me. That's it. That's the only reason why I care.
Oh, look, well, trust and believe it. Stop. Yeah. So we want to thank y'all for being with us on this Sunday morning to review and recap the love and the marriage that happens in Detroit. What up, though? Okay. Season 2, episode 1. And Really B already let us know backstage that this is probably going to be more of a roast than it will be. So yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, let the algorithm do what it do. Y'all go ahead, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Yes, Brown Mama, hey, may not be on the live, but this is my reason for not watching reality shows anymore because they don't get it before they come on with the bullshittery. All right.
Actually, I like bullshittery. I like that.
I know. I'm gonna have to take that from you, bro. Diva, good morning. Good morning. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna get into this intro, and then we get back, and we're gonna get back into Detroit. Let's get shady. Get back to the D. All right, y'all. So let's start off first with, I was a little confused because, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, it's been 2 years since they've been off air, right? About 2 years?
It hasn't been quite 2 years, maybe about a year. Because they came
on. I feel like it's been longer than that.
No, because they came on after Love and Marriage DC. Remember when Love and Marriage DC took their little hiatus?
Yeah, but wasn't that the first part of Love and Marriage DC before they took
right? It was the first part, right?
Okay, so I see what you're saying. All right. Well, no, because obviously we pick up where we.
2 years. It's been maybe about a year, but I don't think it's been 2 years.
Okay, so right. We picking up. You said not long enough. That's terrible. We pick up 6 months after. All right, the reunion. We see Christina at home alone, and Brandon comes in to drop off his laundry. Wouldn't have been me. Wouldn't have been me.
First of all, can we see? That's what I'm saying. Can we start? Okay, Corey said this.
I'm gonna treat you like you divorced, sir.
First of all,
find somebody else to do it.
You pick up with her in a house. She ain't in that penthouse no more. No. Second of all, I wish a Negro would think that you asked me for a divorce or a separation and you can bring your laundry to my house. First of all, I don't even believe that because it just looked like a bunch of blankets he got out the backseat of his car. I don't even believe that was really his laundry. But I don't believe a whole lot in this scene.
But even to put that as a storyline, what you're not about to do is put this storyline on me that we separated and I'm up here doing this man's laundry.
All I know is, well, first of all, I was perturbed by that. But to Really B's point, so do you think she rented that penthouse?
I don't think they bought that penthouse. I don't think they own that penthouse, honestly.
Remember, they were moving in last season.
They were moving into that penthouse and they had moved out of the other house. But the fact that he's sleeping on his mama couch, he don't even have a room in his mama house. He's sleeping on the couch. Tells me
that the math wasn't mathing.
Listen, and I get it. You go from 2 income to 1 income. Maybe by himself, he couldn't afford the penthouse. I get that, but you couldn't afford an apartment because clearly she can afford to run a house.
Well, remember, he said that he's hoping that she lets him back in. Otherwise, if she takes any longer, he's going to get his own place.
But it's been how long has it been already? you asked to leave, sir. She didn't put you out.
She might have. You asked me for a separation. You got to go. She said he had to go.
But what I'm saying is, before you come in the door saying I want to separate, then you should have already had a plan. That's what I mean.
But did he come to her and say that, or was it?
No, that's what she said. What happened was we learned when we saw them on the reunion stage, whenever we saw them a year or so ago, whatever, and she thought everything was good. I knew it was BS, but they was putting on for the cameras or whatever. But yeah, and then she found out, or basically found out from, I guess, somebody else, or that he was actually thinking about divorcing her while she thought that they was moving forward. So then that's when she was like, well, if that's how you really feel, you got to go.
And are we going to talk about all the women that slid into her DMs last season? Oh, my bad. We're not going to talk about that?
Not the DMs. And when did your name become Bernitha?
Really, Bernitha?
Really, Bernitha? Happy Sunday. Cajun messing with you.
Don't pay attention to Cajun, child. That's my baby. That's my troll. That's my resident troll, child. That's our resident troll.
Look, you can go into the DMs.
Yes, because I don't know if I knew about that. Good morning, Corey.
Child, all them women was coming out of the woodwork. Sliding into her DMs.
Comfortable clothing.
Look, oh no, that's terrible. She said it's the locks and comfortable clothing. My mother used to do her ex-husband's laundry. I used to be so mad at her for that. I think that's how people end up getting divorced and then getting back together. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still doing the same thing that you was doing, even though that
show you what it's like without me, boo.
I agree, but hey, little baby. Look, Cation said it was probably filmed 3 years ago, knowing Carlos. Well, we know that. I mean, to your point, Cation, I hear you, but we know Kobe pregnant and they got to keep up with the pregnancy. Corey says, what do they do for work? That's a great question. Brandon, I know, does the Star Factory situation. And Christina, I guess, was an influencer, or she's still an influencer.
Xavier answered it.
Yeah, she found out accidentally, but he didn't tell her. He's in music management and she's an influencer, right? Hey, Phil. So yeah, Really B, did you want to go into the DMs, or you gonna skip over that?
I just did it.
I'm sorry. Look, all right. So basically, Brandon says that he's been unhappy, and ask her if she's been happy in the last few months. Christina admits that she just didn't know who he was anymore, and he says that he felt like he was constantly being, this is what aggravated me, y'all, being molded and keep being pushed to grow.
And forced to grow. What?
I said that would have been, that line right there would have been it for me if I was Christina. Because sir, we can't grow. Like, clearly y'all been together for what? They were together for like 15 something years at this point, or something like that. It's been a good long time. I feel like first season they said it was like 12, 13 years, but it's been the team.
No, because he's still a little kid.
That's what I'm saying. He never grew up. That's sad. He still wants to be that same person that she met. And clearly we learned later on that they didn't court or date for too long, because he married her after 6 months.
Let me tell you something.
Here we go.
Let me tell you something.
Look, that's Bernitha right there.
The minute that she saw that scene with his mama, she should have been filing her paperwork. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to sit here and listen to this man say, basically, the only reason why he asked me to marry him is because he wanted to have sex.
Yep.
I mean, on top of all the other stuff they dealing with, I mean, if their marriage was good and they were in a good place, I might be like, for real? That's what you was doing? But the fact that they're already in the space that they're in, on right. top of the conversation he had with her, baby, I'd have been, girl, but what?
I'm with you.
It's different when you telling your partner, like, in a joking way versus having a serious conversation with your mama.
And we know it happens. Like, it ain't the first time a man said, oh, you ain't gonna give me none. All right, let's get married. Like, it ain't. We know it happened. But at the end of the day, like I said, y'all are already having issues. So you add that on top of the other layers. You know what I'm saying?
And then when he was like, well, I'm here because God told me to be here. And she was like, so you're not here because you actually want to be with me. Even though he said that, basically her leaving wasn't the prize. Okay, so you realize you effed up. And honestly, I really feel like he just don't want to be
staying. Her staying. She was like, basically, she was like, I love you. I stayed with you. And he was like, that's not the prize.
I just think he wants to come back home because he's sleeping on his mama's sofa or futon or whatever he got going on.
Because it ain't work out the way he thought it was gonna work out. He thought this was gonna go a different way.
He absolutely did. And I don't know if anybody else got this vibe. Y'all let me know in the chat. But I definitely got the vibe when I was watching him that he basically wants to cheat in peace and she won't let him. That's the vibe that I got. And I think that because obviously we know they had issues before, but the fact that he was like, I wasn't cut out for marriage. I wasn't built for marriage. This is something I really didn't want. It gives me the vibe that he just wanted to be able to cheat. The fact that he was looking at other women on his wedding day.
Right.
Like, it just gives me the vibe.
Men look at women. When literally she took the words right out my mouth. On our wedding day, you're supposed to be focused on me.
Right. And he didn't even say, you're right. That was disrespectful. I understand how you feel that way. This Negro said, oh, I didn't realize we were that loud.
He has no coof. He has no coof. It's the
But what it tells me is that he doesn't get it. And my thing is, we can't fix something that you don't understand how and why it's broken. He doesn't get it. So I don't know how we move forward from here.
Right. And I think he's broken. And Xavier said once he saw Brandon's mother, it started all to make sense. Brandon's mother, though, seemed like she'd be keeping her foot on his neck. Cajun said, you should want to grow anyway. Sounds like a loser to me. That's the point, Cajun. That's what I wanted to bring up. He should want to grow anyway. And the fact that he wants to stay in this state of like him in his 20s, and I don't know. It's just not giving what he needs to grow up. Brandon is a clown. Yes. And they tried to make Christina the scapegoat. Hey, Aunt Natty. Cajun called you out, Bernitha, with the finger. Is she a big influencer with millions of followers?
No, she's not.
I think
she's making some change, but she's not.
Yeah, she's making a little coin, but if anything,
remember last year, old girl has more followers than her.
Yeah, Colby has more followers, and I think more than anything, she probably gets more like free stuff or something like that than she does probably make a good coin.
I think she probably has a lot of local people, vendors and stuff, but I don't think she's got like major influence and deals.
Phil, that's such a good point, and I absolutely agree with you. He absolutely is repeating his father. Xavier said, let's be real. That's why a lot of young Christians get married fast. They horny but religious. Okay.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
Look, not on this good Sunday morning. Xavier went to the pulpit. Let y'all know. R&D Diva said, but that's exactly what these men are doing these days. They're marrying women just to be caregivers and appliances and forced birthers. Woo! You better say something. Love is dope. Say, hey, y'all, I'm tired already. Mel and Martell 2.0. It's crazy that a grown-ass man doesn't even know how to do laundry. That would be unattractive.
He know how to do laundry.
He probably know how. He expects her to do it.
I was about to say, he know how to do laundry, but why do it when I can get you to do it?
Ooh, Xavier said, I agree with Brandon. You loving me isn't enough for me to love you.
You better say it again for the people in the bag.
Ooh, I told you, Xavier up on the pulpit today. Okay. This is why. All right. R&D Diva said, this is why most women are not getting married. And
hey, DeMarcus.
Hey, DeMarcus. I hope we see you later. Aunt Natty said, did you hear him tell his mother that he didn't want a divorce because he wanted to hit? Yeah. Phil said, his mama, the other, what do we expect? Oh, don't do that to the mama just because she's one of the others. And yeah, DeMarcus came through. How do you feel about House Husbands? Is that a different show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We love you, DeMarcus. We'll come back. So yeah, y'all. So that was pretty much the first scene. And then, she breaks down crying. She talks about how she's tired.
Okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling it.
Christina's tears?
I wasn't feeling it.
I think it was real.
I think they were genuine. I wasn't feeling Brandon.
I think she tried to catch her breath.
Yeah, it was that what did that ugly cry?
Because you know what I think it is? I think she was thinking like she had the power until he kind of flipped it on her and was like, well, if I come back. And I was just like, oh.
That's what it was for me. How you going? Because I would have said if that's not even a conversation right now. When he was like, "Oh, can I come back home?" And she's like, "Oh, not yet.
Let me know when you're here to pick up your kids, sir. Get gone."
Ooh, okay. It sounds like Phil and Xavier. This is a great. Phil said, "I disagree. If loving you ain't enough, then leave because nothing is going to work." Well, and then Yana said some people are good at that cry. Okay. Y'all wasn't.
I mean, I guess let me just be honest. Honestly, that whole scene just felt very contrived. Do I think that they're separated? Yes. Do I think that they're dealing with real issues? Yes. But I do not think they're telling us the real issues. And I do not think that they are having the real conversations. They were talking all around the situation. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, do I think that part is real? But that whole scene, and then it was like, I felt like the tears were to evoke something from Brandon she wasn't getting. Because Brandon was giving her real blah, real.
If it don't work, it don't work.
Right. God sent me here. I don't know if I really want to be here, but God said show up. So here I am.
God said go.
Right. God said go. Right. I feel like she really wasn't getting what she wanted from him. And so it was like,
no, really. No, really.
That's what my face did. When she did that, my face went.
You think you ain't Brandon.
I know, right? Really be like, so are you done? Are you finished? Right. Or are you done?
First of all, tears I told y'all I don't know what to do with tears. Well, I didn't tell y'all, but I'm saying I've told my subscribers I don't know what to do with tears. When people start crying in front of me, I don't have that natural instinct of, oh my gosh, come here. I don't. I'll be like I don't have that. So tears don't move me that way. Do I think that people genuinely feel emotion and tears are real? Absolutely. But they just don't move me that way. And in that moment, it just felt so 1, 2, 3. Like that's how I felt.
God, Correct said that crying pissed me off. I turned the channel. I just don't like
what I'm saying?
Now I will just say this. I really don't. After the first season and even this first episode, I was trying to come in with get with a fresh slate, but I really don't see it for Christina. But this particular scene, I actually did feel bad. I've never really seen it for Brandon, but this particular scene, I actually did was like it pulled on my heartstrings, and I was like, okay, I felt bad for her because usually I would have been like you, Corey, and I'd be like, well, I don't care for neither one of them, so I don't care.
Do I think that Christina has shed tears over Brandon in her marriage? Absolutely. Do I think in that moment, I just felt like in that moment she was making it happen.
Oh, Phil said he is team Christina. Okay.
Of course
Brandon gets blocked because he don't want to be there. Why you say of course Phil is? What?
because that's my boo.
Another Xavier.
If Phil say black, I'm gonna say white. It just never fits.
That's what y'all do. Okay. And
I'm not necessarily anti-team Christina. I'm anti both of them. Both of them irritate me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I will never understand why people subject themselves to being on kind of what Brown Mama said at the beginning, being on a reality TV show, knowing you got shit in the closet, knowing you have shit going on. Why are you opening yourself up, knowing that every woman that Brandon ever flirted with, if you know that you have dealt with infidelity in your marriage, you need to just go on and be ready for what's going to happen and just have the conversation and talk about it and be real about it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like I'm just sick of these people going on these shows and want to hide and think they're going to be able to hide shit. You got these internet detectives and all. Child.
Facts. And Phil, I agree with you. Brandon is more concerned about them kids, her moving and her taking them kids with her.
I think Brandon just wants to, like somebody just said, wants to cheat in peace. I think Brandon likes the lifestyle. I think Brandon likes the attention. I think Brandon likes, they would probably make living comfortable. I ain't gonna say they was rich, but they were living probably upper middle class to middle class. And I think he's comfortable with that. And what he has learned is that shit ain't as easy to move out, because clearly she living in a house, look like in a decent house in a nice neighborhood. Right. You don't even have a room at your mama house. You on the couch, a pull-out sofa. That shit ain't work out like you thought it was. But I'm gonna shut up.
Maybe he thought he was gonna stay with one of his whores.
Right, maybe. But it's 20 minutes and we still on the first thing, so I'm gonna shut up.
You don't think what? What you say now?
Bills?
I'm thinking he's paying her. He has to be paying her bills because we know she don't. I mean, she's an influencer, but he's already said, I take care of everything. So she's kind of like a stay-at-home mom / influencer. And I'm not being shady. I don't think influencers paying the bills like that. That's just my thoughts. I might be wrong. But anyway, all right, let's get off them and move on to Colby and Russell, right? Go ahead, Nels.
So Colby and Russell, they went to her maternity appointment. Basically, she don't want to know what the gender is. He does. Okay. They're both hoping for a baby boy. But it really don't seem to matter because according to Russell, whether she's pregnant with a boy or not, they're gonna keep on trying. And Colby she's like, sir, I'm not your baby factor. This is not what's happening. Guess what? This one's a boy. Okay, that's it. This one's a boy. And we're gonna move forward. She's giving, she ain't trying to push out nothing else after this.
I don't understand why the two of them can't ever be on the same page. They can't be on the same page about shit. They can't be on the same page.
Shit.
But they can't be on the same page about wanting to know the gender. They can't be on the same page about how many kids. They can't be on the same page about, I mean, last year it was big stuff like owning a gym and quitting and wanting to go into ministry. But y'all can't even agree on whether y'all want to know the gender or not. Like, why y'all can't agree on nothing?
And guess what? He did both of those against her wishes. He don't compromise on nothing.
Phil, I'm going to agree with you about this. Colby is my favorite, but I don't really see it for Russell. And I think it's because he just makes decisions and expects her to live with them. And to your point, really, it's not even, I don't even think it's an agreement. He consults her after he does it. And I think that's what's even more disrespectful. And I think she's going to get tired of that. And Cajun, you are a fool. I'm sorry. Maybe she's healing and thriving and not just surviving like Ashley Darby. And I'm sure that was in reference to Christina, but that is funny. All right.
Cajun is a fool, child.
And Xavier said he thinks they be on the same page and one of them changes their mind. Colby acts like she doesn't want to be pregnant. I don't think she did want to be pregnant.
She said she didn't want a second child.
Yeah. And she said he trapped her, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nels. I interrupted.
That was it for them.
Okay, well, we wrapped that up in a nice little bow.
But can we talk about the fact that she knew exactly when they conceived because she was like, it's your birthday. Are y'all at the point y'all marriage already where y'all only having sex on special occasions? I mean, I'm not being funny, but
I didn't think about that, but now that you say it.
In fact, she was like, yeah, it was your birthday. That's how I know. And he was like, what?
And then they actually, I think, counted back the weeks, and he was like,
right. And he was like, oh, you might be right. She was like, no,
that makes me think like, so y'all ain't do it the week before.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you was able to pinpoint his birth. Like, oh yeah, that was your birthday. Like,
that was that one time that month that I gave it to you. Yeah.
I'm like, that's what we are now?
So that would be on birth control and consult his ass after.
Well, that part.
Listen, women have done it. We know what happens, child.
Right.
We know what happens.
So as we talked about this already, so I ain't gonna stay on this too long. We know Brandon's living at his mama's house, sleeping on the futon, or the pull-out sofa, whatever it is. He sits down and talks about what's going on with him and Christina. And basically how he don't want his kids to move away because he feels like if he goes through with the divorce, you know, she's gonna move back to, because I think she's from Buffalo. So he obviously he doesn't want to have to parent long distance and that type of stuff. But he does admit that he never wanted to be a married man. That wasn't his desire. And as we already touched on, and he only did it because he wanted to smash. And now here he is 2 kids later. And I mean, based off the way he treats her and the way he talks to her, I don't think he ever really liked her like that. I really think she was a smash. And the mama says, I saw it from the jump. I did the same thing with his daddy. And we got married after 6 months. And then I realized that this wasn't it. And after 2 kids, here we are. And, you know, she was like, I would have told him not to do it, but this was the first person I ever seen him be serious about. So I wasn't going to tell him not to get married. So
next up, we have a new couple. The Dobines. It's Marcel.
I don't like them.
And Kimberly. You said what? You said you don't.
She already said I don't like them.
I don't really like anybody on the show. Who you like? Who you like on the show?
None of them.
Oh, really? Really, B ain't got no bias.
Let me say this. If I had to pick one person that I like the doctor. But I don't like them. I don't like them.
I love LaToya too.
I like the doctor.
I like LaToya and Anthony.
Anthony's funny, but he's a little sassy for me.
I don't know why they're pot stirrers. Like, I don't know. We'll get into it later.
Unnecessarily extra. Like, did you see when Anthony made the comment about the fur coat? And he was trying to get her to be messy
and called her a poodle. She was like, "Yeah,
right." Like he's trying to create mess. Like you can be silly and shady, but if you know you already have a contentious relationship with somebody. Right. Like, it's like he's trying to start drama. That's how I feel. And last year, I felt like
wrong for me to say the stuff that comes out of his mouth. I feel like the stuff that comes out of Anthony's mouth will come out of like one of our mouths.
I could see that.
It's not shady like for a dude type shady.
I feel like Anthony was trying to be a producer last year, and I think that he tries to produce scenes and produce moments. That's how I feel.
Yes. I can agree.
Yeah. So that's why I say with Anthony, I side eye because I feel like you're trying to produce the moment instead of first of all, let me say this. I feel like all of them are trying to produce moments instead of letting moments happen. And that's why their scenes come off so stagnated and so they're not believable. It's almost like they're bad actors, but it shouldn't feel like you're acting in a reality show. It should be like this couple we're about to talk about, the Bovines. What their name is?
The Dobines.
Oh, the Dobines. Kim and Marcel. Yeah.
In that moment, did it not, like, even in their confessional, did it not sound like they were doing an interview? They were doing they were interviewing for a job. Yeah, so, we have multiple businesses, I do this and I curate events and yes, and I'm in mortgages and I'm a motivational speaker and and yes, we have our 2 kids and like even in that moment, oh, let me go get him something to eat. Okay, I got the baby, you got it, boo. And like
look, for all those that didn't watch last night, Really B just gave y'all a great reenactment.
Look, really, she just did the whole scene. The only thing I need to say is they've been married for 8 years, been together for 10. They got a 5-year-old named Lourdes and a 1-year-old named Chancellor. Everything else.
Then they sat down, and immediately, as soon as they sat down, they got the 5-year-old sitting there. They got the baby sitting there. Yeah, so our communication has been really bad. Like, okay, insert storyline here. Like, we didn't even get a chance to really get to know y'all before you want to talk about how y'all's communication is off and how y'all don't have time for each other. All right, so we know what your storyline is. And then, in true Carlos King fashion, your ass then went to Detroit and found a mofo that got a problem with what's her face? What old girl name is?
Christina.
You done went and found somebody that has a problem with Christina to bring her on the show to give Christina an issue. Christina don't need nobody else on the show that got a problem with her. You couldn't find nobody that got a problem with the pregnant lady or a problem with Anthony. You had to go. I feel like Christina got it all last season. So now that's going to be the storyline. Is old girl got an issue with Christina. And now we got to watch they ass argue all season over some shit we don't know nothing about. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm shut up.
Okay. Well, let me just say this, because to that point, I was kind of like, really where even though I may not see it for Christina, I was like, really? But I don't necessarily know. I mean, of course, Carlos obviously chose him for the show and whatever, but I kind of believe that was LaToya and Anthony pushing for them to be on the show. I think that
I can agree.
I think that LaToya, and this is the one thing I've noticed. I might like her, but I can call a thing when I see it. And she absolutely loved every moment about inviting them to that dinner and seeing Christina and because she doesn't have to do it this season. She could just sit back and let her do it. And I absolutely saw what she was doing. I was like, okay, I see you, LaToya. Throw the rock, hide your hand. I see what you're doing.
I agree with that. I agree with you 100%. 100% I agree.
But yeah, so
then LaToya and Anthony, they had the Dobines come over. This is how it all went down. Okay, so they decided to play Never Have I Ever. LaToya finding out a whole bunch of stuff about her husband that she'd been with for God knows how long. And
now I did feel like this was kind of like, come on, y'all.
And I'm like, LaToya, that's what we playing. Never Have I Ever. That's what we doing. We can't play like.
Wasn't it Anthony's idea, and she thought it was childish?
Yeah, and I agree. It was. Don't get me wrong. I will play Never Have I Ever as an adult. Like, I get it. But in that environment, y'all are having two friends over there. Clearly, y'all act like y'all already know them. Why are y'all playing Never Have I Ever? I don't know. It was so, once again, contrived and produced. Like, Anthony, you're producing your moment. Because every question asked, you taking a shot. I did that. Oh, I did that. Went skinny dipping. And why you act like Toya? Girl, I need you to get out of... Girl, there's nothing wrong with skinny dipping. Skinny dipping is great. Why you ain't been skinny dipping? Why
because she is, aren't they all PK kids? Except
don't y'all have a pool at y'all house? That big ass house they got, they don't have a pool. When the kids go to sleep, let's do this. Send the kids to the grandparents' house. Like, y'all ain't never slamming your own pool naked. Maybe it's me. I'm sorry. Let me shut up. Maybe I'm telling too much of my business.
Oh, look, I was gonna say,
Trees, if you had a pool in your backyard, you wouldn't go skinny dipping.
Oh, of course I would.
Absolutely. That's my point.
Look, I have a hot tub now. We clean it properly, but yeah. Okay.
That's good to know. Thank you so much. Trees invited me that last week it was raining, so I ain't hang out in the backyard, but I told her I'll give her a rain check. But that's good to know. It won't be in the hot tub. Thank you.
Look, it has chlorine. It has all the essentials. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right.
And I'm laughing at y'all.
I'm laughing
at y'all in the chat. Why is it that they talking about the baby's name Chancellor, and they said that they going back and forth in the chat about why that is?
Oh yeah, I think
the help's name, or no, they said it's
Xavier
Catherine Chancellor. They talking about Young and the Restless Child.
And that's where I was confused. I said, how did Young and the Restless get into it? But yeah, you got
here.
No, I thought you was about to do the comments. Are you about to do the comments or no?
No, go ahead.
All right. So basically, LaToya let Kimberly know that Bravo is celebrating the 1-year anniversary for District 78. And she basically lets her know, she's inviting everybody. And when she mentions Christina and Brandon, Kimberly just screwed her little face up. So clearly, yes, we know that she knows who they are. She said that she met Christina about 11 years ago at a fashion show, but she had already knew Brandon from Star Factory. She used to be singing in the background. She said they became friends. She planned her baby shower, and had her at her wedding. Even helped her become an influencer. But she said basically the girl don't take accountability, and she don't see it for Christina for real. And she basically says that she'll let you know. She was like, you know what? I'll let you know if I'm coming. Now that I know Christina gonna be there, but we know damn well she gonna come. Girl, you want to be on the show? You're gonna be at the events, okay?
And is it just me, or do we? It might be just me, but it seems like everybody has the same issue with Christina.
Mm-hmm.
That she doesn't take accountability and that she's a user, because it sounds like She didn't come right out and call Christina a user, but it sounded like
But that's what it's giving. That's why my mouth dropped.
Like, I'm a loyal person, and when I needed it reciprocated, and she doesn't take accountability, So yeah, it does sound like that she kind of putting that out there, child.
Xavier said Anthony's trifling. You slept in your parents' bed. Nasty. Cation said you only play that game with people you know or like in real life, not people. I can agree with that. Anthony is a freaky frog type of man. Okay. Freaky frog. Cation said, really Bernice skinny dip with that 20-year-old Moroccan she met. Oh, okay.
First of all, you went from Bernice and now you Bernice because you skinny dipping.
Look, let me find out. We got a 90-day the other way story time that
Not
really,
90 days.
You know about this 20-year-old Moroccan.
Hold on, Phil. Hold on. Pump your brakes. Now, usually I'll let you go at it with Really Big. But for me, I know you like Christina, but Kobe don't need to be accountable for nothing. Kobe, I love me some Kobe. I don't think she do nothing. I think she's just the sweetest can be.
At the end of the day, Phil, you talking to the devil. So she gonna she gonna cape.
No, I'm good at playing devil's advocate, but in this, I never see how Kobe is wrong.
I told you
really try to look at it from a different. I never see how Kobe is wrong.
I told you last
in any situation.
They both needed to be accountable last season.
I don't know. Look, Phil said what? I'm just saying, Phil. But yeah, y'all. So then we get into the infamous conversation and sit down with Christina and Kobe. Basically, she wants to make sure that they're on the same page before they attend this dinner. And we know basically Kobe and Christina haven't talked since they've been on the reunion stage. Now, when this happened on the reunion stage, I absolutely believe that this was fake and this was forced and this wasn't going to go past what we saw on TV. And I was absolutely right. Christina hasn't reached out to her. Kobe hasn't reached out because I get where Kobe's coming from. I'm the one that's pregnant. I don't feel like I'm wrong. And so, yeah, if you want to reach out to me and we can, and she said she was waiting for her to reach out and she never did. So she's just at a point where she's protecting her peace. And Christina's like, but I have a lot that's going on. And it's a lot that's going on in my life as well. And this is why I don't like about her. Because she used that as the same excuse last year to not pick up her phone or whatever was going on. And that's how they ended up falling out because I was going through something. Well, let's just be real. You've always been going through something since the day you married this man. So if you're going to let that be your excuse in life of how you treat other people because you're going through something with him, then clearly you need to make a change. And it's not your friends. That's just my thoughts. But anyway, so basically she tells Kobe she didn't reach out because she thought she still had a wall up. And, basically Kobe tells her, I'm pregnant. I ain't really got it to do right now. We can try, but I'm not putting in no extra effort to try to make this work. So if you want to, but I'm just not in that place. And I understood where she was coming from because she was really hurt. I really, and again, I like Kobe. She was really hurt, and I saw that. I felt that. Any y'all want to chime in?
I don't really like nobody, so I don't really. I'm not choosing no sides. I don't really like nobody.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm always leery on these reality shows when people don't reach out until we start filming again. The fact that you had 6 months, you had 6 months to call, text, IG, Instagram, DM. You could have done 500 different ways to reach out. You knew she was pregnant. Did you inquire about anything she might have wanted or needed? What about the health of her, the health of the baby? There was so many different ways that she could have reached out. But the fact that you only reached out now that we're filming, and you literally said, oh, and I just want to make sure we're good before we go to this party for old boy, which tells me that you still didn't reach out to her with the intent of figuring out how we can fix our friendship. You reached out to her because you didn't want an awkward moment when y'all were in a group setting.
You better preach.
I get it, and let's be clear, I get it. She going through her own shit. Her and Brandon doing this fake separation shit. I get it, but you ain't reached out to none of the women. You didn't reach out to the doctor either, because she said she ain't talked to Christina either.
Well, no, so but they were never close. They were never close.
I get it. I understand that they were never close. But what I'm saying is, you didn't reach out to nobody. Girl, miss me again. Had she attempted to, I could even see her. She said, "Oh no, that's not true, Kobe. I called you. No, Kobe, I did try to reach out to you. No, Kobe, I did ask you about the baby, and I texted you. But the fact that she didn't even dispute it tells me that she didn't try. So I think it's all fake.
I agree. And I'm glad that you pointed that out. That she only called her because they needed a scene, they needed to shoot, and that's all it was about. Mo Media said Christina been going through a divorce though. Everybody got lives. And I agree.
I get it. But here's the thing though. Again, it's been 6 months. I get it and I've never been through a divorce. So let me put the preface there. I've never been through a divorce. And I understand that a divorce, you probably don't have time to think about other people. You dealing with your kids, and I get it. I get that. But again, I'm gonna say the same thing about this that I say about men and women and dating, or whoever you date. What's important to you, you will make time for. You didn't have to pick up the phone and call her. You could have sent a text and say, "Hey girl, I got a lot going on right now, but I wanted you to know that I really meant what I said at the reunion, and hopefully we can get together soon." You could have sent a text 2 months later and said, "Girl, oh my gosh, I've got so much happening here." But you understand what I'm saying? The fact that you found time now that them cameras are rolling.
Mm-hmm. Talking about how genuine it is.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. And Mo Media, I absolutely agree. Kobe wasn't wrong when it came to Christina, but Phil feels differently. Love you, Phil.
Phil always feel differently. Don't worry about it.
I know.
When I say don't worry about Phil, Phil is. I feel like Phil looks for the underdog, and he find the underdog.
But that's why we can work well together, because I love playing advocate.
Matter of fact, Phil gonna go to brunch.
I can't ride with you on.
Phil, we're gonna go to brunch together one day, because Phil live in the area, and we've been trying to go to brunch for years.
Oh, for real? Oh, so we can go back and forth all day? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So y'all can have this conversation in person.
Right.
The phone works both ways, Aunt Natty, but Kobe doesn't. But Christina is the one that said she wanted to fix it. I think Kobe was cool with them not being friends. I don't think Kobe was trying to fix it. You see what I'm saying? The phone works both ways, but I don't think Kobe's interested. Christina is the one that said she wanted to fix it. And Kobe does still have a wall up. I agree. I don't think Kobe's making it easy. Now, I will say that. I don't think Kobe's making it easy for Christina, but I don't know if I would either. You in Columbia having brunch now? Tell me what the spot is. Where you having brunch in Columbia, Phil?
I think this was the greatest point. Just say y'all didn't care enough about one another to call.
There you go. Boom.
That's it right there.
Yeah, we're doing Detroit, Janae.
Phil said Toya was nasty to Christina.
Toya was nasty to Christina. What, at the end of the episode?
I think he's talking about last season, and I can see where he's. See where he's going. I wasn't always,
Oh, the doctor.
Mm-hmm. But see, I think she does it in a way that's what's that word? Nice nasty. LaToya's nice nasty.
I don't like her nice nasty. I don't like LaToya.
What?
I don't.
Oh my God.
This is my opinion about Toya. I don't think Toya wanted to be on the show. I think Anthony wants to be on the show.
It's definitely Anthony. It's definitely
I think Anthony wants to be on the show, and she's trying to be a good wife. I think Toya could care less. So I agree. I think it comes off as indifferent. I think it may even come off as mean, but I don't think this is what she wants. I don't think she's interested. I think she's just being a good wife and supporting him.
Well, she can because it's a love and marriage situation. So she can't have.
I mean, the husbands do it all the time on the Real Housewives. Some of them husbands could care less about being on a reality show, but they do it for their wife. And I think that's what she's doing. I think she's doing it for him. That's my opinion. So I agree. I think that Toya does come off a little cold and a little standoffish, but I think it's because I don't think it's about the people specifically. I think this is just not what and you saw it every time there was a conflict or something. She was like, I don't do this. I don't do this. And I just think that's just, you know.
And then Xavier said, low key, Christina deserves Brandon. They both have a you're beneath me attitude. I see that.
You see what Lovely Soul too said? She said, my husband was listening as I was watching. And when he heard Brandon, he tilted his head. Like, huh? Like, what the hell? I'm with you. And I'm glad your husband's response was that.
Right. Look, forced to grow. Brandon doesn't want to be a husband or a grown man.
Facts.
It's that part right there. I agree.
The hard part about marriage is that everybody grows. You marry somebody when you're, even if you're in your 30s, you're not the same person in your 40s and the same person in your 50s, much less if you marry somebody in your 20s. Oh my gosh, like you haven't even started. Like I look back on who I was in my 20s. My gosh, I didn't know shit.
And that I always say that I was like, you could love somebody down, but once you start growing apart and just growing in different directions, that's a real live thing. People grow apart. Look, we see what's the name? Judge Mathis after what? 39 years? 39 years. And his wife said,
he's right back.
He said, and look, she said, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm done. We have done the do. Okay. So, but yeah, y'all. Are we gonna get into the dinner?
So everybody starts showing up to District 78. Colby basically let the table know that, you know, she had a productive conversation with Christina, meaning basically there was no yelling. Okay. Brandon and Christina came in holding hands because they fake ass. They didn't want to let nobody know that they separated. They said, we're going to fake the funk. It ain't none of their business. LaToya and Anthony basically, well, we already said Anthony really wasn't feeling her outfit. He called her a poodle. LaToya was not being shady. She was like, she feeling the poodle, but she said, but she said she hasn't talked to her since the reunion. Now, apparently Russ is running late because he's at school. Like I said, his wife didn't want him to go, but we see he does what the hell he wants. Right. Bravo told Brandon that he wants to write a song for Keita, an apology song in case he ever needs it. That just rubbed me. I was like, what?
First of all, there are 5,672 R&B songs that you can use to apologize when you screw up. I need you to go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere.
Why would you be thinking about writing an apology song instead of a love song?
Right.
Like how much you love her.
Right.
That's something you can use right now. You want an apology song in case you need it?
In case I need it.
Let me
put it on deck. Let me put that in my back pocket.
I don't know why. And I think we see it in the previews, but I kind of always, even from last season, felt like, because we kept seeing him and we never saw her until like the end.
I just feel like this is a group of F-boys.
Well, we know Carlos know how to find them.
Like literally, I mean, like they all are F-boys in their own way. They're not all cheaters. They're not all, disrespectful to, like, but they're just all F-boys in some type of way. It's a group of F-boys.
I can agree. And what I hate to say it, but they all have what did a good girl say off of Ready to Love? They kind of all have thought jobs that keep them in the club at night, away from home, in the studio, all hours of the. They all kind of have.
What about that?
They all have thought jobs.
That is so true.
Look. It's Sunday, so I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway, even on the pulpit. Russ.
Don't do that.
So basically, Marcel and Kimberly, they walk in. Christina is so not amused. She's like, Kimberly's here. Okay. It was super awkward to say the least. The preview for next episode looks like it is going to go down.
The arguing, child. They get the arguing.
Yeah, they were standing up. It looked like there was some finger pointing. It's about to go down.
And even with Christina and Brandon, and I understood what Brandon was saying about, this is about Broadway and his celebration. We don't need to bring it down. But the fact that everybody don't need to know our business, everybody don't need to know. Again, it just goes back to what I was saying before about y'all just trying to keep up appearances versus legitimately legitimately dealing with y'all's issues. Like y'all walking in holding hands. Y'all ain't gotta do all that. Like y'all ain't gotta do all that. Just we know y'all together. You ain't gotta come in there holding hands. You know?
And it goes to your point that I really do think that they're faking this separate, or maybe they really are maybe going through it and they just decided, because I don't know if you saw the pictures for the premiere, but they definitely were looking like they were together or showed up, you know what I mean? Like they were still a couple. So I imagine that they were able to work through it.
Because it was a storyline. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
Or he ain't going nowhere because he realized him having to pay all her bills and him sleeping on his mama couch is cheaper to keep her.
Well, that part too.
David
said he don't think Russell's an F boy. He's just a Christian man.
Just because you ain't a cheater, just because you ain't out in the clubs, don't mean you ain't an F boy.
Lil Baby said, shout out to Thought Jobs. Cajun said Carlos is trying to recreate the Mel Martell formula so he can keep draining it to death. Ooh, okay. Mo Media said Kobe's one thing was she didn't want to be a first lady and he ignored that. So Nell's got a point. Okay.
Boy.
They got to be faking it because how he living with the mom he hated for all this time. That was one thing that I thought about too. I said they clearly must have worked on their relationship in this last 6 months because the last time we saw them, it was not a good situation between Brandon and his mother. So that's a very good point, Mo Media. But I mean, look, sometimes if that's the person where you got to lay your head, you'll tough it up and suck it up because you see, mama ain't holding back nothing just because she still tell it like it is. And mama also told him that he needs to get off his and help around the house, and he couldn't seem to understand that concept. Like, what you mean?
Which tells you he ain't doing it with his wife,
right?
Because if you do it, it's just natural. It's just naturally something that you do, which means he don't do it at home,
right? Correct said, "I'm old. What's a F boy?
A FUCK boy."
Okay, thank you.
A boy that's out in them streets.
Yeah, somebody who means you no good. Nick Cannon is an F boy. That would be a good, just out here creating broken homes and messing with a whole bunch of low functioning women, and that's what that is. Thank you, Gray. I'm glad I could do that.
There's levels.
But there is levels. There is levels to the F boyness. Cajun said the mama raised him to be sorry. Oh, no, I don't think that. I think the reason why him and the mama had so many problems is because
no, they said that his mama didn't force him to do nothing. She let him do whatever the hell he wanted to do. He said it. And Christina said it. She did raise him to be sorry.
Woo, okay, Cajun. Look at Nels coming through. I was getting ready cape. I was getting ready cape for mama, but she said nope. She absolutely did not hold that boy accountable. Basically, Brandon was telling her either you gonna let me be me or I'm gone. Lovely soul of two. Absolutely. He wanted to cheat in peace. That's just what I got from that scene. And he's upset because she wants him to stop cheating, clearly. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but even Christina admitted to, I can't even say without admitting it, she already said when they first got married, she let a lot of stuff slide. And now she's just not doing it no more.
Well, I'm going to say, and somebody said it in the chat a few minutes ago. I forgot who said it, so my apologies. I think it was Cajun. I said this last season, and I'm going to say it again this season. I honestly feel like Carlos goes out and he tries to recreate what he had with Love and Marriage because it became such a hit. And I feel like you can look at Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage DC, and it's almost the same three couples in all three franchises. And that's just how I feel about it.
No, I did feel like when I was looking at them, I was trying not to compare them to Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage DC, but I absolutely can look at every couple and say, this is supposed to be such and such and such.
Exactly.
I can absolutely see that.
Exactly.
Cajun said, don't get married and ruin someone else's life. If you want to cheat and sleep around, I absolutely
Exactly.
agree.
That's why I don't get mad at Neo, right? Because Neo finally got it right. Neo say, listen, I don't want to be monogamous. I want to have multiple partners and they need to know who they are and understand their role. And if they cool with it, I'm cool with it. And we just going to be good together. I'm going to have my girlfriend.
Took him creating families.
I get that. I think he finally got it right. No, I get that.
Okay. Because look, you saw how I was just sitting over here ready. I was like, really big. Correct. By the way.
I said he finally got it right. I mean, he did screw up. And like you said, he married his last wife twice, and he married the first one once, and he got multiple children. I get that. But I think he finally realized, I think he tried to do it.
He realized he didn't need to be married.
And he realized that's not what he wanted. Right.
Correct. By the way, if you didn't catch that, add Neo to that list with Nick Cannon of F boys.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an F boy. So yeah. Oh, okay. They going at it about Brandon's mama. Same with his ensemble shows like Bell Collective and such. He finds the same personalities every time. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And y'all can disagree, but I honestly felt like I was really happy with how Family Empire came out and went. I think it differs from what we've seen of the Carlos formula a little bit. It's more of the, like, I don't want to say pure, but when I watched it, I got Sweetie Pie vibes. And I like that. And I hope that they stay. I hope they stay in that realm. But it's TV and it's Carlos King. So we can only hope that it stays like that. But
until next season, when it comes out that Nicole's husband was a cheater all along.
Well, that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for Nails to say it. I was going to say, I think I agree that I like the way it turned out. I like the way it went, and I like the way it turned out. But I do think that he was still looking for that formula, because on every episode, there's a couple. I mean, on every of his franchise, there's a couple that has rumors of infidelity. Whether it's true or not, usually it's true. Whether it's true or not, there are rumors of infidelity. And I think that Nicole and Larry was supposed to be that couple. I think Nicole and Larry were very intentional and careful about not telling all their business. And maybe that is a season 2. But I do think that at the very least, the rumors of infidelity were there, but they did not allow that. Even the messy storyline with the illegitimate, the other daughter, because she's not illegitimate, right, with Lakeisha, I still think that was handled. We got enough messy off of it to talk about it and stuff without it getting, they didn't, and it didn't consume the whole season either. It didn't consume the whole season. It was a big storyline, but it didn't get to the messy to like the last 2 episodes.
Okay, so Mo Media, I'm not sure who Marie. I'm sure it's probably somebody from Bell Collective. Marie Monroe. Do y'all know who that is?
What about her?
No, he was saying. I guess he's comparing her to Nicole. And I don't know.
Like that. I don't know if I would compare her to Nicole though. I don't know. I don't know about that. I would compare Nicole and Larry to Latrice and her husband and Zaddy.
And Zaddy. Cation says season 2 will bring unnecessary drama, more makeup, too many designer outfits and bags. Okay. Little Baby said Family Empire is better. Right. Family Empire is better because he allowed the dynamics to be what they were. I can agree with that, but he really does need to let go of the Mel Martell formula, because even that's dying. I agree. Love is Dope said, yeah, I love Family Empire. Good for Soul TV.
I did too.
Correct. Agrees with you. Really be Neo is living his life. He knows Mary Jane for him. And correct. I'm not saying I'm happy of where he is now. The problem is it took him hurting a slew of women in order to get to this place. But I'm happy he's living in his truth. Xavier, I think Nicole and Larry got overshadowed by her parents' foolishness.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Oh, I definitely feel like we would have got more of Nicole and Larry and their problems.
I believe it's gonna come next season, though. Next season.
That's what they're saying. That's what everybody's banking on. That it's gonna come out next season, because we're done with the Keisha. And how much more can we talk about that?
We're done with that. I mean, right. I hope for season 2 he doesn't drag that out, because we're done with that. Like there's like you said, these people are grown. They feel how they feel. Now I would like to. The only thing I'm interested in seeing next season as it relates to this, I would like to see a one-on-one, calm conversation between Bubba and Lakeisha. That's it, though. I don't want that to drag out either. I really want to hear his calm point of view on the situation, calmly. Because once people get excited and their emotions get involved, then. But I want to hear him in a space where he feels like he can tell his story to tell his story. I think what we got at the fish fry was him being upset. He was already pissed off. And like a couple of people said, he felt embarrassed. So I feel like he was on 20. And so he was saying stuff because he was on 20. But I would be interested in that. But I don't care about nothing else Joy got to say. I really don't. I'm not. We know how she feels. And
right.
And she's going to change. She ain't going to change. So it is what it is. But yeah, I don't want them to drag that out. We got it. We got that. We got it. We got it.
Love is dope. Carlos absolutely needs to promote Family Empire a little bit more. Cajun Bell Collective's good, but the horrible acting is the problem. I think I tried to watch 1 or 2 episodes, and it was like the personality
show. It's not a
but see, the acting is happening because it's bad. The acting is happening because they're
trying
to create storylines instead of it being organic.
Okay.
You so, in my opinion.
Y'all know they do the most after season 1.
True.
Well, I enjoy Family Empire as well. Bell Collective is slightly different than the Love and Marriage franchise, but not too far off. Cajun, everyone is going to be fighting for more camera time and trying to make it interesting. I really want to see the development of the land turn on to HGTV real quick. I'm with you on that, Mo Media, because Bell Collective is about everything but Ferris Street. Miss Gigi said, Family Empire season 2, Nicole and Larry, stand by for the truth.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that really be? Did you hear that really be?
The Love is Dope. Mel Martell formula ruins the show. Look at Love and Marriage Huntsville. Well, Love is Dope. I agree with you. The Mel and Martell. See, I don't know if it ruins it because I think, and really B, you may agree, but it seems like it became more of the fans that made Love and Marriage go south more than it was the storyline. And y'all can disagree. Because we weren't doing it from the beginning. But I think it's the fans that made things start to go like left with that show. Correct me if I'm wrong, Really B.
No, what I've always said, not always, but what I've said this season is this whole entire season, every storyline this season is driven from the internet instead of the other way around. If you look at Love and Marriage Huntsville this season, every storyline started on the internet. And they're taking it onto the show instead of the other way around. So I agree with you. I think the fans have definitely commandeered this show. When you look at the Sonny and Moses storyline, that broke on the internet. That broke on the internet. That wasn't an organic situation. When you look at the Nell Mel drama, Nell and Mel are now having drama because of stuff Nell said in an interview or said on the internet. Same thing with Destiny. Same thing with Kimmy. Now they're trying to say Kimmy is being shady towards Mel. All of that stuff is driven from the internet, and then they take it and put it on the show. And everybody is reacting. Look at this. Look at the episode. Look at how much stuff they're reacting to that came off of the internet.
That's a great point. Life at the estate says Miss Joy gives Mama Joyce vibes. Her mannerisms, the way she speaks, and some of the things she says. I can absolutely, because Mama Joy's gonna live in her and don't care how she sound if she look wrong. So I give you that. Little Baby say it was a combo of fans and the Mel and Martell drama dragging. And Yana agrees. Yeah, it was a combination, but the fans made the show not likable and the cast feeds into the internet.
I can agree with that. They make the show for people who are not on that extreme end of it. They make the show really unbearable. I agree with that.
Well, y'all, that's pretty much it for the Love and the Marriage that happens in the Detroit. Thank y'all for joining us on this lovely Sunday morning. I got to get off here and get my lineup together because it is football.
Right, Sunday, I got to get up over here and I gotta do the same. I got to get my life together for the rest of the day, child. At some point, I got to watch Love Marriage Huntsville so I can do that review because I ain't.
Right, I got to watch that too. But yeah, y'all. So we appreciate you being here. It says we had 92 people total. So thank you, everybody. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button for us. Comment. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to both channels, Shade in the City, as well as Really BT Reviews. And yeah, y'all, make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, we'll catch you next Sunday for episode 2 of the Love and Marriage that happens in the Detroit. What up, though?